Primaries are coming. We have so many people living in Winter Springs. They're looking for the best of the best candidates. And today I believe we got one really great candidate, probably best of the best out there running for the Commissioner, District 2. I will let her introduce herself. So can you tell us a little bit who you are and welcome to the show?
Yes, thank you so much, Igor, for having me today, and it's great to see you again.
Thank you.
I am running for Winter Springs Commission, District 2.
Okay.
Because I feel like the residents need a voice.
Mm-hmm.
And there's currently no upfront communication, transparency of development and our wastewater treatment and our drinking water. There's a lot of things that are going on that are being done in the middle of the night at 11 o'clock at night when we're all sleeping and they're at the board meetings making decisions. So I'd like to come in there and make sure that things are being transparent and that we understand what's going on and we have input into matters.
Nice. So there's a huge gap as far as I'm seeing between the residents and government officials. So even though we vote for them, put them, and they're getting the job and the salary, taxpayers' dollars, and it's just a huge gap. And you want to bring that gap. So listen, I want to go connect with community, let them know what's going on. So my first question, it's all about water. Either you're buying a tap water, either you're buying bottled water, it doesn't matter because our body is built 75% plus of the water. So if you have unhealthy water, what kind of life you're going to have in the Winter Springs or any other communities out there? My first question is the tap water in the Winter Springs safe and can we drink or not?
Right. So from what I understand, we have hard water in Winter Springs.
Okay.
Which is bad for pipes.
Okay.
But what does it mean for our pipes?
Yeah.
Our, organs. And so that's something that I'm currently looking into.
Okay.
I'm going to do a pilot study where I go to 5 different homes in 5 different districts and have an independent lab. I'm working with Flowers Laboratory and make sure that we get to see all the different things because currently it's an average. You know what I mean? When you get that
and
paperwork.
We don't want to be an average.
So I could be low and you could be high.
Wow.
So I got the bad water. You got the good water, now we have an average. So I've been hearing a lot of things such as cancer and autism, and I don't know if it's, related or not, but I'd like to look. And I started this initiative about 10 years ago, and I didn't follow through, but I'm ready now. And I'd like to see if there is any correlation because there is a lot of complaints. And so I'd like to be able to look into it and not push it under the rug.
Okay, so you want to take care of it to make sure. Another thing is a lot of time, are we even safe to walk out there? Is our, in the Winter Springs, is the business are thriving? And you mentioned something like the developers, what's going on with them? I'm seeing a lot of lately issues, developers are working secretly behind with the government official, vice versa. I don't know if that's true or not, but it is what it is. And if you know something about developers that you said something attacking you and you want to defend yourself, please do so.
Right. Well, there's only a few parcels left in Winter Springs to be developed that are owned privately.
Okay. And
a lot of these transactions are starting. This land has been sitting there for 40 or 50 years with little to no interest, and the economy is booming. And so a lot of different proposals are being put on the table, such as Walmart even came in and said they wanted to develop on land that's zoned for a research park, a technology center. So that's, obviously not going to happen. But things like this are coming in, storage units. I mean, we got to be very, very careful. We have to make sure that we keep our residents in our best interest for our natural resources, our traffic. There's so many things that our school system that we need to account for.
And Seminole County is really well known for the natural resources, and Winter Springs is part of that.
Absolutely.
All right, my other questions are the business are thriving. So when you get elected, what are you going to do for businesses? I know there's a lot of buildings, vacant buildings that can be repaired, and nobody pays attention to that because it seems like it's costing us less money to put the new building to actually go there and reconstruct, dig all of the bays and the rules and laws and stuff. So what you gonna do for us when you get in District 2?
Well, I'd like to incorporate more of a work, live, play structure, like you said, to be able to walk, to the arts or to a restaurant instead of having to venture 20 minutes to Winter Park to have a nice dinner. So I want to make sure everything stays a little bit more local, and that way we're more efficient for our economy because we're keeping it local and we're not traveling far to get a bite to eat.
Yes, so if we want to stay local, we also want to bring the tourist. And it's all about buying. People, a lot of times people say, wow, how do we increase the better city? First of all, I believe we should have the food restaurants, people have to buy. So not just people who are buying here locally from Winter Spring residents, but how do we attract people from Winter Park? Instead of we going to Winter Park, how do we track them here to the Winter Springs? So are their shoppings are enough developed? Are they looking to something that, can you share with
Right.
us?
Well, from what I understand, Winter Springs is about a 95% residential tax, and that is not sustainable.
Okay.
And so we need more businesses. But because of our demographic and our population isn't as big as it could be, and Lake Jessup, I guess, takes up a big demographic, so they're not able to really capture the full demographic. So it hinders us. And whenever there is a new restaurant or store in the Winter Springs Town Center, it's like, how long will this one last? And so, yes, we definitely need to get our heads together and see what we can do to encourage more involvement in our local
level.
Yeah, our local restaurants, our local stores. But it's a great point, and I'm not sure what the solution is, but we need to look into it.
So now I'm looking, everything is like working with another constituents. I know you bringing the fresh new blood to the table. Especially, I always said some people who've been there forever, it's just us, human beings. We lose sensitivity. What was the purpose that we first time ran for it?
Yeah.
After a certain period of time, like we get kind of laid back, we'll get it done, actually never get it done. But what kind of new initiatives you going to bring to the table?
Yes, so I see it both ways.
Okay.
Some commissioners have been in office for 18 years, and they have incredible institutional knowledge, at the county level. But others, like my opponent, after 8 years, he's changed. And that's the impression I'm getting from a lot of residents. They're donating to me, they don't even know me, but they want me to win because of some slight that he did to them. And from what I understand, he had good intentions when he started. But from what I've been warned, be prepared, because politics changes you. And I assume that is what happened to him, because I think he did have his best interest of Winter Springs at his heart in the beginning. But now it's shame, and it's bullying, and it's dictatorship. And the reason I'm running is because I need to get him out. The businesses don't want to work with us. The staff doesn't even want to work with him. Wow. I know people that wanted to run for mayor, but in the event that I didn't win, they were like, I would have to work with him, so I'm not running.
Okay.
I mean, that's a big red flag, I think. So there's been a lot of circumstances where he's ticked people off, and I understand that comes with the territory, but I feel like it's not being done in an eloquent communication way that a leader should portray.
Okay, so now you said that politics does change the people, and the Winter Springs voters would like to know, when you get to their level, is the politics going to change you? If so? It's a hard question.
It is a hard question, but my ethics and moral compass, I would say that I'm going to be a voice for the residents.
Okay.
I can't be bought.
Okay.
I'm an 18-year entrepreneur who's a very successful business person, mother of 3. I have the Winter Springs residents' interests, the best interests at heart. And I don't see myself getting into any kind of political ploys where I have backroom deals and I have this favor and sweetheart deals. That's not what I stand for.
That's not you.
Yes, and I also wanted to address, because you said a little bit, I wanted to give a little background of my profession.
Please do.
Is when I'm from Boca Raton, and I came to UCF when I was 18 years old. And when I was a senior, I was the president of a marketing society.
Nice.
And through those connections, I got an internship. I had 5. This was the last of the 5 internships. And for 12 years, I worked at that same company and worked my way up from intern to marketing director to vice president to president.
Your name?
And throughout my 20s, I did things like Political Leadership Institute, which is where I met former Mayor Charles Lacey in 2009. I was the president for the Orlando Young Professionals, the director at large for Urban Land Institute, which is good for urban planning. I have the leadership and the criteria for this position. And one thing I loved is when I spoke with John Horan, who is a former Seminole County commissioner and the only one that lives in Winter Springs, so he's a local resident. And he said, when I look at a candidate, I look at it as like a job interview. And which candidate, who would I hire? I loved that. I mean, it's, no brainer, but I loved that. And I am applying for a job to represent the city of Winter Springs. When I got that internship, like I said, I worked there for 12 years. And then I started my own company in 2017. And what I do is environmental restoration projects.
Okay.
So, for example, we are located in the Lake Jessup watershed right now, okay? Which is a precious natural resource.
Oh, yeah.
There's about 5 nested basins throughout the state. This is one of them, which means critical, ecosystem, need to make sure,
Everything is there.
Yes, we're even more, standards than normal. So what I do is take, let's say, 1,000 acres of land that might be turned into development, okay? And that private landowner puts a conservation easement on the land so it will never be developed. It will be kept in perpetuity in its natural state. Okay. Not only are we gonna preserve it though, we're gonna restore the wetlands. We're gonna, fix any kind of ditch and draining, remove the exotic species, plant the native species, and based off those efforts, the state and federal government gives that landowner credits to sell to another applicant within the same watershed, Lake Jessup, to be able to compensate for the adverse wetland impact, to be able to provide a no net loss of mitigation.
Nice.
So I do that with wetlands, and I also do that with endangered species.
Okay.
And so it is pro-environmental, and it is all regulated by EPA and the Army Corps of Engineers and the Florida Department of Environmental Protection, and you name it. And so it's just been a wonderful,
Journey.
industry to be in.
Nice.
Because, I was a marketing student, I'm business.
Okay.
And so I bring the business side to the environment.
Nice, good.
Which
And
is
that's
rare.
what we need, very rare. And one of the most important things in Winter Springs, do we have to build a new infrastructure or rehab, expand, better utilizing our existing one? I believe, so wherever you go, it's a cost, but one is the maintenance. So what do you
Absolutely.
believe, should we build a new infrastructure or should we maintain the way they currently
Absolutely.
exist?
Well, was it last night or the night before here at the Oviedo Mall? They approved a new apartment complex here at Macy's.
Nice.
And I love that because, it's already cement, so we're
Yes.
not going to be hurting
Yes,
anything,
yes.
and we'll help the thriving mall.
Yes.
And we can add more, demographics and population without hurting the environment.
Yep.
When you do have to start and build land, and if there are any wetland impacts, it is so expensive that it will 9 out of 10 times deter that landowner from purchasing that land and moving forward. They'll go somewhere else. In Lake Jessup, the mitigation credits that I sell are more expensive in this basin than any other area in the country.
Wow.
So it will cost approximately $200,000 an acre if you want to impact a wetland,
Wow.
which will
It's-
put your
Let's push
project
out of the-
upside down.
Yeah, yeah.
So that is one of the big things about mitigation.
Okay.
It deters people from moving forward. It makes them think twice because they're going to be like, I got to put $200,000 into this.
Yeah.
Get this.
I
I'm going
don't-
to
I
another
wanna be
land where I
part
don't have
of
to
it.
do this.
Okay.
So it's a possibility, but you're going to have to pay for it.
Nice. So my last question, then we're gonna go to free question. If you could change anything, especially in our zoning code, what is the one particular thing that you would do for us in the Winter Springs?
I do not believe in changing zoning
Okay.
because
It's already there.
it's already there for a reason.
Okay.
It's been there for 30, 50 years,
But
and
can we add an amendment to it?
there's exemptions.
Okay.
Exceptions. I mean, there's so many different little things. Everything's going to be case by case,
Yes,
of course.
yes.
But overall, I do not believe in changing zoning. Like the Walmart property, it's zone GID, which is the Technology Research Park, and to rezone it to be commercial and residential.
It's like moving a lot of puzzles moving back and forth,
Yeah.
and you can never puzzle back again.
Yeah, no, too much controversy.
Yes, it
you
is.
know, so I would stay away from that with a 10-foot pole.
Nice. So our last question, you look it up in the camera, I'm such and such. Why should you guys vote for me and Winter Springs for the primary elections on August 23rd, and early voting, as a matter of fact, starts on August 8th.
Yes, but my role is nonpartisan, so we're not on the August 23rd
Okay.
ballot, but you'll see me on the August 8th ballot.
Okay, perfect. So please do so.
So I want to be a voice for the city of Winter Springs. I want to serve you. I will work for you, to tackle issues that are important to you. I want to work, I have the energy, and I have the resources to be able to perform.
Nice, nice. So once again, I want to recap, say who you are.
Victoria Colangelo.
And running for what?
Running for Winter Springs City, District 2, City
And
Commissioner.
where we can find your information?
You can call me, 407-808-2222. You can email me at friends@victoriaforwintersprings.com or my website, victoriaforwintersprings.com.
Victoria, thank you so much for being our guest.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I got you a little
Oh,
present.
look at that. Look at
Victoria
that.
for Winter Springs.
I love it. I mean, look, take a look. It's an amazing. I'll wear this shirt.
Wonderful.
Look it
Thank
up.
you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you.
I
We
really appreciate
do
what you're doing here.
I am just spreading awareness to community, bringing the leaders to the table who are willing to care and share.
Yes.
My slogan is care and share. If you care, you share. If you don't care, you don't share, and you don't care. So there's no reason for us to interview you.
Exactly.
If you care about community, we care about you, and we care about everybody. But please bring something valuable to the table so we can give opportunity to citizens, knowing who we are as the leaders, because it's huge disconnections. So thank you guys once again. This is the special podcast episode 54. And your special host, Tiggy, will put all our guest information at the end of the show. We'll tag, like, share. Please stick around. We love you. Like I said, care and share. Thank you.